This video is created by Jagrat Creation. It is on accounting for branches, dependent branch, stock and debtor system. I wish to solve one sum here before you by stock and debtor system. Just observe the sum on the screen. This is a sum which I intend to solve here before you by stock and debtor system. If you try to read this sum, you will find a familiarity with this sum, because I have already solved this sum here before you in my video lecture number 7, which you must have perhaps observed. But at that time in lecture number 7, this sum was solved by debtor system. Now I want to solve the same sum by stock and debtor system. So those students who wants to be quite thorough with both the systems may refer to both the sums at a time so that they can discriminate the difference between debtor system and stock and debtor system in a better fashion. Now let me solve this sum by stock and debtor system. Mukti collection Bilimura has a branch at Pahadi, Bhakti collection, to which the goods are supplied at 20% profit on sales. Head office pays expenses of the branch except petty expenses which are paid by branch itself. Branch is allowed to maintain a petty cash balance of 600 on impress system. From the following balances show in the books of prepare accounts under stock and debtor system. Now these are the details given to you. I have solved this sum. Once again I tell you that I have solved this sum by debtors method. Now I solve the same sum by stock and debtors method. Now, what are the accounts that we are required to prepare under stock and debtors method? That I have already discussed in my previous 2 lectures. But in this sum, we are going to prepare accounts much more than the number of accounts that we have prepared in previous 2 lectures. Just observe. Now, for this some number of accounts are required to be prepared. Just look at the accounts that I prepare, and I am also going to tell you the journal entries. See, branch stock account is to be prepared, branch debtors account, goods sent to branch account, branch expense account, branch stock reserve account, branch adjustment account, branch petty cash account, branch profit and loss account. So these are the normal accounts that I have already explained to you in my previous 2 lectures, and they are prepared here. Over and above, I am going to prepare few more accounts because it is found necessary in light of the given balances and the transactions in the sum. Just observe them. I am going to mention the journal entries for those accounts also. I would like to explain the preparation of those accounts and the transaction being recorded therein. Just have patience and let me complete that in due course. So these are the basic accounts that I have prepared. Goods are sent to the branch at an invoice price in this sum also. In the previous 2 sums also, previous 2 lectures. In that also the goods were sent to the branch at an invoice price, and branch has sold all the goods at an invoice price. In this sum also, the goods are sent to the branch at an invoice price, but the goods are sold by branch in this sum above the invoice price. If the goods are sold only at an invoice price, as we have learned in the previous 2 lectures, then gross profit will be disclosed by branch adjustment account. Gross profit will be disclosed by branch adjustment account. But when the goods are sold by a branch above the invoice price, then in that situation, you can find 2 types of gross profit. One gross profit, which is identified as profit realized by selling goods above invoice price, and gross profit realized by difference between cost and invoice price. So you can say that gross profit realized by the branch manager by his efforts by selling goods above invoice price, and the gross profit expected by head office by sending goods at an invoice price. So there will be 2 types of gross profit. One gross profit will be disclosed by branch stock account, that is profit earned by selling goods above invoice price. And the another type of profit that will be found in branch adjustment account, that is known as profit expected by head office by sending goods at an invoice price. This is an important difference that students should notice. Now let me start. Mukti collection Bilimura has at party Bhakti collection, to which the goods are supplied at 20% profit on sales. So 20% profit on invoice price. So profit is 20, invoice price is 100, cost is 80. Now stock in hand at sales price 30,000. Goods sent to branch, if you are not told, it is presumed to be invoice price. Stock at sales price. So these are the three important invoice prices given to us in the sum. Now let me find out the profit element and cost element. If invoice price is 100, profit is 20, how much for 30,000? Obviously 6,000. 100 is to 80 cost. How much for 30,000? 24,000 is the cost. Same way I would like to find out for 1,50,000. 100 is the invoice price, then 20 is the profit. How much for 1,50,000? So 1,50,000 into 20%, that works out to be 30,000 is the profit element. What is the cost element? 150 minus 30, 100 and 1,20,000. But you can work out 100 is to 80 cost how much for 1,50,000? 15 is a 120, so 1,20,000. Same way you can work out the profit element and cost element in this 45,000, that is the valuation of closing stock at an invoice price. So 100 is to 20, how much for 45,000? 9,000. And 36,000 is the cost. So 45 minus 9, 36,000 is the cost. So this is how I have prepared first working note. The same working note was prepared by me while solving the sum by Debtors method, but look at the style of recording. Branch stock account is to be prepared at an invoice price. Branch stock account shows the increase or decrease of increase in stock or decrease in stock that has occurred at the branch location. So opening stock will be debited on the, it will be recorded on the debit side of branch stock account as opening balance. This is a stock and debtor system. So all opening balances are recorded in the respective account as opening balances in assets account. All liabilities accounts are, opening balance of liabilities account are recorded in the respective liability account as opening balances. No transfer entry, notional transfer entry is being passed in case of stock and debtor system. That we have studied in case of debtor system. Notice it. Goods sent to branch, branch stock account. Okay. Now whenever you write the opening stock, always write down the profit element in the opening stock. That is recorded as opening balance in stock reserve account. So 6,000 you must write as opening balance in stock reserve account. And this is to be transferred to adjustment account. So stock reserve account debit to branch adjustment account credit. So stock is recorded at invoice price. Profit element load therein is to be recorded on the opposite side in branch adjustment account. That is the important point that students should understand and they should follow while solving the sum by stock and debtor system. Now goods sent to branch account, branch stock account debit to goods sent to branch account. Now you are required to write the entry for adjustment of invoice price. So here this is also an invoice price. But the adjustment entry will be recorded to the opposite side in branch adjustment account. This is also invoice price. It has also to be recorded at cost. So profit element in this 1,50,000 is to be removed. For that, goods sent to the branch account will be debited with 30,000 and branch adjustment account will be credited with 30,000. So 150 minus 30, 1,20,000 recorded. Goods sent to the branch account is given net effect of cost of goods sent. And here invoice price is recorded, but the profit element therein is recorded in adjustment account. That's an important point. Now closing stock is to be recorded to the credit side of branch stock account. Whatever the unrealized profit is there, for that you must create the stock reserve. So branch adjustment account debit to stock reserve account credit. This is how stock reserve account gets closed. So let me close and remove it from here because I will require space to write other accounts. So 15,000. Closing balance of stock reserve account will be 15,000. This is how stock reserve account is closed. I will demonstrate this if required in the last part of the sum. Now transaction during the year. Petty cash on hand, that will be recorded as opening balance in petty cash account. Sundry debtors at branch, opening balance of debtors, that will be recorded in branch debtors account opening balance. Opening balance of furniture will be recorded in furniture account, branch furniture account opening balance. See, this account we have not prepared in the previous two sums. In the previous two sums, such assets were not there. So we have not prepared, but the branch furniture account is prepared. Prepaid rent, that is also opening debit balance. That will be transferred to rent account. So prepaid rent will be transferred to rent account. So rent account debit to prepaid rent account. Rent prepaid at the beginning of the year is a rent expense of the current year. So prepaid rent at the beginning of the year is to be transferred to rent account. So rent expense account debit to prepaid rent account credit. This is how I have recorded the adjustment entry. Outstanding salary 150. Now this outstanding salary is at the beginning of the year. So liability at the beginning of the year are paid during the year. So outstanding salary will be transferred to salary account. So I prepare salary account, branch salary account. Outstanding salary will be transferred to branch salary account. So that outstanding salary will be paid at the time of making payment of salary. Branch salary will be paid at that time. Outstanding amount is going to be paid. So outstanding salary opening balance is transferred to salary account. So outstanding salary account debit to salary account credit. This is how transfer entry is made. So see, these are the various accounts that I am preparing. I have prepared furniture account, rent account, branch salary account. As I have got some limitations on the screen, so I bring those accounts, record the entry, then remove it. At last I will show you all the accounts at one place on conclusion of the sum. Now, next, cash sales at branch. Now see. Branch stock account, opening balance at an invoice price, goods sent at an invoice price, closing stock at an invoice price. So 180 minus 45, so that will be 1,35,000. So cost of invoice price of goods sent 1,35,000. If the goods are sold at 1,35,000, my branch stock account should tally. If the goods are sold by branch at an invoice price. But if you notice, cash sale 1,20,000, credit sale 67,500. So the total of these two sales is not alike to 1,35,000. So goods are sold by branch at a price above the invoice price. That's a very important inference that students should draw while solving the sum. But the entries are going to be recorded in the same way. So whatever the profit fetched by the branch manager by selling goods above invoice price, that gross profit will be disclosed in branch stock account, and the difference between cost and invoice price, that's gross profit, will be disclosed in this branch adjustment account. Both the type of gross profit will be transferred to profit and loss account. From that, expenses will be deducted and the net profit is going to be found out. So cash sales, that is already remitted to HO. So cash or bank account debit to stock account credit. Credit sales, branch debtors account debit to stock account credit. Allowances to debtors. Now allowances to debtors. Debtors account is to be credited and it will be transferred to branch expense account. Look at the style of recording. See, allowances. Now what's the journal entry? Branch debtors allowance account debit to branch debtors account credit. Branch expense account debit to allowance account credit. So allowance account is a linking account that can be prepared, because there won't be during 1 year only one allowances. There will be 10, 15, 20, 25 allowances. All those allowances given to the debtors will be debited to allowances account and the debtors account will be credited, and that allowances total will be transferred to branch expense account at the end of the year. But at present I write in the narration allowances by allowances. So there is one temporary transitory account is prepared, allowances account, wherein regular daily routine transactions are recorded and the total of allowances are transferred to branch expense account. That's an important point. Now, cash received from customer, that is received by HO, bank account debit to branch debtors account credit. Now, bad debts written off, that will be debited to branch expense account. See, what is the entry? Bad debts account debit to branch debtors account. Branch expense account debit to bad debts account credit. So, bad debt account is a linking account. That's why I have written in narration bad debts, bad debts. Now, discount to debtors. So, discount allowed account debit to debtors account. Branch expense account debit to discount allowed account. This is how branch expense account is debited and discount allowed is credited to branch debtors account. Now, payment made by head office for rent. So, 2,700 rent account debit to cash account because payment is made by HO. The payment is made for 1 year up to 1/4/2015. So, 3 months prepayment is there. So, 12 months payment is 2,700. What is 3 months prepayment? So, you have to write the entry prepaid rent account debit to rent account credit. And this prepaid rent will appear in the balance sheet asset side. So, here rent account is to be credited. And whatever the net difference of this branch rent account is an expense of rent during the year, that will be transferred to branch expense account. So, branch expense account is debited with rent. So, branch expense account debit to rent account credit. Now, I have already prepared salary account. Now, 3,300 is the salary paid for 11 months. Outstanding salary paid 150. So, total payment is 3,300 plus 150. So, total salary paid, branch salary account debit 3,450 to cash or bank account credit 3,450. Now, 1 month salary is outstanding. 11 month salary is 3,300. How much for 1 month? That works out to be 300. Salary account debit to outstanding salary account credit. Salary account is debited because it's an expense for the current year. Outstanding salary is a liability that will be paid in the next year. So outstanding salary, so long as it is unpaid, it will appear in the balance sheet liability side, outstanding salary. So salary account debit to outstanding salary account credit. Now the difference of this salary account is a salary expense of the branch for the current year that will be transferred to branch expense account. So, branch expense account debit to salary account credit. Now, this is how branch expense account is debited. Now, the purpose of salary account is done, so it is being removed. But I will show you at the end. Now, after this, outstanding salary paid, fine. Insurance premium paid for the year ended on 31/3/2016. So, 540 insurance premium paid. So, branch insurance expense account debit to cash account. It is paid up to 31st of March, so 3 months prepayment is there. So, 12 months amount is 540. How much for 3 months? This is the prepayment. So, prepaid insurance account debit to insurance account credit. Now, the insurance expense for the current year will be transferred to branch expense account. So, branch expense account debit to insurance account credit. Now, all these transactions are over. Next. Payment made by branch for petty expenses. So, petty expenses are paid by branch. So, petty expenses will be debited to branch expense account and branch petty cash account will be credited. So, branch expense account debit, petty expenses paid. Now, write off depreciation on furniture, I think you remember that we have recorded 15,000 opening balance in furniture account. Depreciation thereon at the rate of 10%, 1,500. So, depreciation account debit to furniture account credit, branch expense account debit to depreciation. So, depreciation on furniture is debited to branch expense account. And the closing balance of furniture will be shown in the balance sheet prepared by the head office. Branch furniture 13,500. Now, branch is allowed to maintain a petty cash balance of 600 impress system. So, opening balance and closing balance is same. So, closing balance of branch petty cash is 600. So, closing balance 600. This implies that branch has sent 270 rupees petty cash during the year. Now, I want to close the account, sorry. So, total of credit side minus total of debit side. This is a gross profit. How this gross profit is arisen? This gross profit is arisen because the branch manager has sold goods above the invoice price and this profit shows the sales proceeds minus invoice price of the cost of goods sent invoice price. Invoice price of goods sent. So 52,500 is a gross profit that is transferred to profit and loss account. Now branch debtors account closing balance is found out. Goods sent to branch account will be transferred to purchase account. So goods sent to branch account debit 1,20,000 to purchase account. All these expenses will be debited to branch profit and loss account. So branch profit and loss account debit to branch expense account. Now branch adjustment account also show a gross profit, which is a difference between cost price and invoice price. So 36,000 minus 27,000 is also transferred to profit and loss account. So this branch profit and loss account has got two types of gross profit. One gross profit identified as difference between cost price of HO and the invoice price at which the goods are sent to branch. So difference between cost price and invoice price is identified as gross profit in this branch adjustment account, and if the goods are sold by branch manager above the invoice price, and whatever the profit is earned thereby, that is disclosed in this branch stock account. So there are two types of gross profit. Now petty cash account, this is a cash sent to the branch for petty expenses. So branch petty cash account debit to cash account, and this net profit is transferred to general profit and loss account 70,200. Now 70,200 is the net profit of the branch transferred to general profit and loss account in the books of HO. Now let me say you few more things with reference to this. Whenever the goods are sold by a branch manager above the invoice price or less than invoice price, for that you can write adjustment entries to the adjustment account. That can be done, and that point is addressed in markup account that you prepare in departmental accounts. But here you are not given the specific details about which stock is sold above invoice price, which stock is sold at invoice price, which stock is sold less than invoice price. If those informations are given to me in the sum, I can give the effect of those differences from stock account to adjustment account. And in that situation, you can find only one gross profit that is traced in adjustment account, and that gross profit will be the total of these two, that is 79,500. As those specific details are not available to us in this sum, we find two gross profit. One gross profit disclosed by branch stock account, which gross profit is earned by branch by selling goods above invoice price. And suppose it in examination, if you are given an adjustment that branch manager is entitled to a commission of 10% of the gross profit earned by him, then you are required to pay 10% commission of 52,500. Of course, this type of adjustment is not there in this sum. But if that type of adjustment is there in the sum, now you can rise to the occasion. So this is how I have explained to you. The same sum which has been explained to you, its solution has been explained to you by Debtors Method. Same sum is solved here before you by Stock and Debtors Method. Observe the difference between the two. You will find that the profit is same under both the situation. Under debtor system also the profit found out was 70,200 that you can compare. Once again, let me repeat. Goods are sent to the branch. See, stock and debtor system, I talk about now stock and debtor system. Goods are sent to the branch at an invoice price. Branch sells goods at an invoice price. Therein branch stock account tallies, and the gross profit is disclosed by the upper part of the branch adjustment account. Goods are sent to the branch at an invoice price, and branch sells the goods above invoice price. In that situation, there will be two gross profit. One gross profit disclosed by branch stock account, and second gross profit will be disclosed by branch adjustment account. Now the third option, goods are sent to the branch at cost with an instruction to sell the goods at a certain percentage of profit above the cost. Listen once again. Goods are sent to the branch at cost. Branch manager is given an instruction to sell the goods at a certain percentage of profit above the cost. In that situation, as the goods are sent at cost, the branch stock account is to be prepared at cost. The sales will take as per instruction, and the gross profit will be disclosed by the stock account. And when the goods are sent to the branch at cost, then you are required to solve the sum by stock and debtor system. Don't prepare branch adjustment account. Now in my next lecture, the sum that I am going to take care of is wherein the goods are going to be sent to the branch at cost. Manager will be given an instruction to sell the goods at certain percentage of profit. In those situations, you have to prepare all those accounts in this fashion. But as the goods are sent to the branch at cost, branch adjustment account should not be prepared. So, this is how I have tried to explain you this sum. I have told you so many things which you may find unwanted relevant to this sum. But as I find them to be important, I have mentioned to you. I feel that you follow all these things. Thanks to